Hello everybody, my name is Nicole and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic I wrote about is on self-sabotage and getting out of your head and why that is extremely important right now, and kind of help to heal things on a subconscious level and help you guys have the inspiration to be able to go deep and figure out things that are mental blocks to you guys. And so what I wrote about today, I'm going to read from my book that I wrote this morning. This one is on self-sabotage, which we all do. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that doesn't have even a fraction of a second of self-sabotage that goes through their head. Some of us, it's 24/7. Some of us, it's just like a half a day's worth. Some of us, it's even just like an instant thought that we can catch and throw it away. So this is what I wrote today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, click like and subscribe. All right, here we go. Self-sabotage. Our minds are our own worst enemy, but it can also be our best friend. The negative self-talk in our heads is not our true, authentic self. It is not our true divinity. Our true divinity is to live like Jesus. That might catch a few people's attention. Jesus was sent here to teach us about our true divinity. The religions didn't want us to know our true self and to keep the duality. With duality, it is easier to keep us under the matrix and under control. When you're talking about matrix programming and our mindset, you're talking about hundreds of lifetimes and thousands of years of programming. What has happened in the past to people that have practiced their own spirituality or gotten curious about things of secret knowledge? They have been crucified, burned alive at the stake, prosecuted, hung, shot, murdered in some kind of tragic and horrifying way, as to set an example to others as to what happens when you get a little too curious. So of course you get pretty scared of anything, anything that you don't understand, because history repeats itself, right? Or maybe not. Your past life experiences have pretty much taught you that if you dare to explore and you deem anything that is scary, horrifying things might come your way. So fear strikes when the thoughts come into your head about extraterrestrials, spirituality, past lives, matrix, programming, religious, anything, etc. Anything that people don't really talk about, but they talk about quietly behind closed doors. Those are the kind of things that pretty much speak fear into your head, because that's what we've been programmed to think for thousands of years and hundreds of lifetimes. And every time we reincarnate, we bring those things to our next lifetime. So it's over and over and over. So if you were somebody that practiced spirituality in past life and you got burned at the stake for that, or got shot and murdered, you're going to bring that fear and reality into this lifetime. And anytime you think about getting curious about any of those things, those thoughts of fear are going to strike, and that's where it comes from. So the good thing now in the 2019s is that some of us are unaware of that those times, they're over. They're over. Our planet is changing on a subconscious level that some of us are unaware of and slowly starting to realize. We are not allowed to feel We are now allowed to fear. Let me rephrase that. We are now allowed to feel what we feel. And we are now allowed to live how we want to live. And we now can actually love how we want to love. We are slowly learning to accept ourselves and each other exactly how we are. Learning that we don't have to be sheep to fit in. Learning that being sheep does not make us feel good. because it masks our true authentic self and our true divinity. Learning and teaching us, going within, finding out who we are on a soul level, and then letting our guard down to being vulnerable is actually freeing. I said it again. Being vulnerable is actually freeing, which is opposite to how we've all felt our entire life. Because being guarded keeps us from getting hurt. But what's not being told is by being guarded, we miss so many opportunities to love and be loved and experience life on a level that you've never experienced before by being vulnerable. We're all too guarded. And by being guarded, we shut out those amazing things that want to come into our life. Learning that when we love ourselves, that's right, love ourselves, for who we really are, and all of us, all parts of us, love all parts of us. Letting our guard down, opening up our hearts, releasing judgment, and realizing the control of your desired outcome and releasing that control of how it is going to come about. By putting a manifestation out there and releasing control of how it is to come to us. It doesn't have to come to us how we think. Because if we put a manifestation out there and then we step back and quit trying to manipulate it and control it and allow it to come to us, okay, the universe is going to miraculously put this package together that will blow your mind. It will bring things together to you that you really wanted, but in ways that you did not think was possible. Because our mind is so narrow. We have no idea what is capable if we just step back and surrender to the process. So if you can do that, then what can actually happen is we make room for and invite people into our lives and hearts that are of the same vibrations and the same vibrational frequency that is of ours. That those people and situations that are on a lower frequency than yours will slowly fall away and it won't concern you anymore. And then on occasion, when an entity of a lower frequency is attached itself to a person around you and attacks you to try to get you to come back down to their vibrational frequency level, you understand what is going on because you can step back and now look at it, at the circumstances, with an observer's mindset and realize what is going on. Then you can choose not to participate in these activities to lower your vibes and allow that controlling entity to manipulate you back down to the programmed matrix. I don't know if you guys got that or not. It's kind of deep. I'll get into it here a little bit more. The more this planet starts to vibrate on a higher frequency, the more these lower vibrational entities get a little bit desperate. Because once the shift happens, there isn't anyone or anything out there that they can manipulate, and they will die off and they will disappear. That's how they survive, is on lower vibrational frequencies. So anything that negative status, that's what they survive on. That's what they feed off of. And if we quit feeding those lower vibrational entities those negative things, they can't exist anymore. So the more you start learning to vibe high, and the more you will, actually, it's kind of funny, when you start waking up and you're starting to learn the process, and you start vibing at higher on that frequency level, the more you're going to get attacked. It's kind of scary, but it's true. I know all about that. Trust me. I've been there, done that. So the more you're going to be attacked mentally and verbally to get you back down in control. But once you become strong enough to hold that frequency, all of a sudden, like magic, your whole world will change. You won't be affected anymore by any of that, and miraculously, they will disappear from your life, like dandelion seeds in the wind, all blown away to leave you and your true, authentic, and true divine self. Lower vibe entities do exist. I have seen this firsthand. The easiest way for these entities to attach is to people that have addictions. To drugs, alcohol, pills, sex, mental self-sabotage, depression, anything of that lower vibrational frequency like that are addictions. That's what those entities feed off of. And they can easily attach to people like that. So these entities attach to you and use you like a puppet, having their way with you and using you to create havoc in other people's lives, to let other entities allowed to attach to those other people. This creates a tidal wave of negative entities knowing and pretty much having a big old party. So use that as a mental image next time you feel those bad self-sabotaging thoughts crossing your head, or the next time you want to pop a pill or sniff cocaine up your nose or drink a six-pack to drown all of your sorrows using those addictions. Think about that next time. So when you finally understand what is going on and why you have such a dark thoughts at sometimes, or do things you regret later, that is out of your character. That is out of your character for you. Okay? Then now you understand why. You're like, why did I just do that? That's not like me. Why did I just do that? Because it's not you. You're being used as a puppet. Now that is not an excuse to say, oh well, I had a dark entity attached, it wasn't my fault. Okay, that is playing the victim. And that is also a role that they love to play, victimization. But the real trick is knowing and having the knowledge and taking back control over your mind and not allowing them to control you anymore. Do you want to be in control? Or do you want to be a puppet on a string and live unauthentic to your true soul? That's what I wrote today. Now, this is something that we all fight with on a daily basis, some more than others. Having those negative self-chats in your head, the mental chatter, that I'm not good enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I don't have enough, my place isn't that nice, I don't have a nice rig. Or even if you do have all those things and you're still wanting more, like you want more money and you want a nicer rig and you want to keep up with the, quote, Joneses. Those are all things that will keep you in that self-sabotage mode. Being able to release all those things and realize that you are enough, that you are deserving to be loved, and it all starts with you. Because if you don't love yourself, how can anybody truly love you? Because if you really don't truly love yourself, you have your guard up all the time, protecting your heart, not having anybody around to penetrate that. And if you let that guard down, and you allow yourself to open up to people. And I can contest to this because I have guarded myself for the last 47 years. So y'all are preaching to the choir here because I've been there and I have done that. But I am learning now to have self-love and learning that I am enough. And everything I have is such a blessing in my life, and having the people in my life that I have is a total blessing. A total blessing. I mean, it's a total blessing. You don't have to have thousands of people praise you and want you and love you. You can have 1 or 2 or 3 friends and be so happy. It's all a matter of perspective and how you look at it. Do you crave the attention of all those people? And if you do, why are you doing that? Usually it's because you don't have enough love for yourself. Now, I may be preaching to the choir, but I'm speaking out of my own heart and out of my own context and how I have felt my whole life. So this is nothing that I have read in a book, that I have seen and gotten information from other people. This is from my true heart, and opening myself up to be authentic to who I am and making myself vulnerable to love like I have never loved before, unconditionally, which is something that 99% of us don't know how to do. Some of us are starting to. We're starting to understand and we're starting to wake up. But being able to love without control and manipulation, like that person needs to love me for me to be complete and be whole. It's not how it works. Because if you're not complete and whole yourself, there is nobody in the world that can make you feel complete and whole. But once you become complete and whole and love yourself, then the right person is going to come along that will complement you. And that's truly what you're looking for, is somebody to come along and complement you as a person. Not to complete you, but to complement you. Being able to have two people, two wholes, come together is something that we all want to experience. But it takes a lot of work. It does. It takes a lot of work and a lot of self-work, of going within and finding out who you are. I looked at the clock and it said 17:17. I love it. I love numbers. Numbers are just fun. But it's about being vulnerable. And you know what? If you get hurt and if that person doesn't respond like you want, that's okay. That is okay, because in your heart you truly understand and you know that you opened yourself up. And if it doesn't work out, it wasn't a match for you. That God is sending you something way better than you could ever imagine. So don't try to push things. Just be. Just take time and just own up to who you are. And if you're a little crazy and different like I am, like I'm just like wild and energetic and fun and, think different things and feel different things. And if you have that, then express it. Express it. Dye your hair purple, pink, wear weird clothes. It doesn't matter if that's who you really feel, and you're not trying to impress other people to make them think, well, I'm different, I want everybody to know. That's not how it works. If you do it from your heart, and you don't care what people think, and you've always wanted like pink hair, because it's just like, so you love pink and you just always wanted to do it, then do it. Who cares what people think? They don't have to wear the pink hair. Hell, they don't even have to be around you. But if you love it and it makes you feel great, do it. I encourage everybody to go out there and just do something that you've always wanted to do. It's going to make you feel so good just to go out there and do it. Staying in your comfort zone will never get you anything or anywhere but what you've always had and you've always done. Remember that. The only way that you can grow as a human being is to step outside of your comfort zone, to do things that make you feel uncomfortable. And whether that's opening up to a person a little too early and you're like scared to death because if you share too much of yourself and you open your heart and say, this is me, what do you think? You're making yourself vulnerable. But your mental chatter in your head saying, don't do it because that person's going to run away. That person's going to run, hightail it because every other person in your life's always done that to you. So what? If that's who you are and who you truly are, then do it. And if that doesn't work out and that person runs, that person wasn't meant for you. God is bringing you something better and even more amazing. Because you know what? There is somebody out there just as crazy and fun as you and intense, you know? Just as intense and insane and crazy as you are. And that person wasn't for you because they weren't like that. And it would have never worked. So be who you are. Say how you feel. And don't be afraid of being vulnerable and being emotional. Because emotions, we have emotions for a reason. Because they're to feel them. They're not to stuff them. The only reason we stuff them is because we're scared. What is being scared? Fear doesn't exist. Fear is an illusion. There's nothing to be scared of. Being scared is a lower vibrational energy, and that is programmed into us to keep us down in the matrix and keep us down in that programming. When you learn to be fearless and just authentic to who you are and amazing and crazy and awesome, there ain't nothing that can touch you. There ain't a dark entity on this planet, no matter how strong they are, that can touch you. Because we have free will, and your mind is so strong. Your mind is strong. You can control everything in your existence by just thinking a thought. You are a radio wave that when you think a thought, it echoes out into the world. It echoes out into the universe. And the universe just gets really, really busy to bring things to you because that's what you're thinking. But if you think, you know what, I want to manifest true love. And you manifest it, you're like, okay, that's what I want. This is what I want. Blah, 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 blah. You write a little note to the universe and say, okay, this is what I want. I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. And have his stuff together. And treat me like this, this, and this. And then you burn it and you send it out to the universe and say, okay, universe, this is what I want. Bring it to me. And then the next day you're like, that self-sabotage comes back in your head. I'm not worthy. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I don't have the right stuff. My car isn't nice. My house isn't nice. He's not going to love me because I just don't have enough stuff. Then you're sending a contradiction out to the universe about manifestation that you just put out there. So then the universe just gets really, really busy because it's like, okay, she changed her mind. Now, let's bring her some stuff that's going to make her feel like shit. Okay? We're going to bring her a guy that's going to treat her like hell, that's going to not have a nice rig. He's just going to be a little manipulating and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, that's what she wants because that's what she's putting out there, okay? And then next thing you know, you turn around, this dreamy guy comes up to you and you're like, hey, my manifestation comes true. And then you realize that he treats you like poop. And he ain't got his stuff together. And you're like, why? I just manifested a good one. No, honey, you didn't. You contradicted yourself. So the trick to that is putting that manifestation out there. Just put it out there. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's all I want. And then just walk away. Say, there it is. That's what I want. Go about your business. And just keep vibing on a high vibe. Don't think about it. Don't obsess about it. Just go about your business. Go about your business and let life just happen and let life flow. The more ebb and flow you have in your life, the faster that manifestation will come to you. And usually in a way better way than you ever imagined. But the trick is getting out of your own mind, in your own head, your own way, and quit resisting it. Quit fighting the current. Quit trying to swim upstream. Just lay back and float. Float down that river. It's way nicer doing it that way than swimming upstream. You get really tired and then you drown. Then you come back up and you're fighting against the stream. Don't do it. Just lay back and float your way down. And then see what happens. Okay? Alright, guys. I hope you liked it. That was a little fun one. I enjoyed that one. So, have a great day.